Imagine entire cities bustling with people, built by brilliant engineers, stretching further than you can picture. All of it lost to time, swallowed whole by the deepest jungle. What if I told you these weren't just small villages, but a civilization whose sheer scale and ingenuity put some of our best-known ancient empires to shame? For centuries, the Amazon rainforest has guarded one of history's most astonishing secrets. We've always been told a story that this vast green heart of our planet was a wild, untamed place, home only to small, scattered tribes living in harmony with nature, never building anything on a grand scale. That narrative, it turns out, was deeply flawed. Recent breakthroughs in how we look at the Earth from above are tearing down everything we thought we knew, revealing something incredible hidden right beneath our feet. We're talking about a vast, complex civilization, a network of interconnected cities and towns stretching over an area so massive it makes ancient Rome look like a neighborhood park. This isn't just about finding a few old pots. It's about rewriting entire chapters of human history. For the longest time, whenever we thought about the Amazon, we pictured an endless, pristine wilderness, a place where nature ruled supreme, and humans were merely tiny specks, moving lightly through the trees. The prevailing wisdom was that the dense jungle environment just couldn't support large, organized societies. How could you build cities in a place that reclaims everything so quickly? How could you feed millions without vast open fields? Scientists and historians believed that only small nomadic groups could survive there, leaving little trace of their presence. They thought the Amazon was, for the most part, an empty canvas, waiting for Europeans to discover it. This perception, deeply ingrained in our collective understanding, has shaped how we view not just South American history, but the potential for complex societies to thrive in environments we previously deemed too challenging. This ingrained idea that only certain environments allow for advanced civilization was a huge blind spot, a problem that kept us from seeing the truth right in front of us. But what if the jungle wasn't empty at all? What if it was carefully managed, cultivated, and lived in by millions of people who built an entire world beneath its canopy? That's the question that began to prick at the minds of a new generation of scientists. They decided to challenge this old story, not by hacking through the dense undergrowth with machetes, but by looking down from the sky. This is where the real game changer comes in. A technology called LiDAR. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to see a perfectly built sandcastle under a thick beach towel. You can't see it, but if you could shoot 1,000,000 tiny, harmless laser beams through that towel, some of them would hit the sandcastle, bounce back, and tell you exactly where every turret, wall, and moat was. That's essentially what LiDAR does in the Amazon. It shoots billions of laser pulses down to Earth. While most hit the tree canopy, enough penetrate the gaps between leaves, reaching the actual ground below. When these lasers bounce back, they create an incredibly detailed 3D map of the landscape, not the tree line, but the actual terrain, stripped bare of all vegetation. And what these maps revealed was absolutely breathtaking. It wasn't just a few isolated villages. It was a vast, sprawling network of interconnected settlements, hundreds of them, all linked by perfectly straight roads and canals. Imagine seeing outlines of towns, plazas, and even defensive walls, all perfectly preserved, hidden for centuries beneath what appeared to be untouched forest. This wasn't just a corner of the Amazon. This civilization spanned an enormous geographic range, stretching from the foothills of the Andes Mountains all the way across to the Brazilian lowlands. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend. We're talking about an area that could easily swallow several modern European countries. It indicates a population that must have numbered in the millions, far exceeding what anyone ever imagined could exist in such an environment. This wasn't just a collection of hunter-gatherers. This was a well-organized society that left its mark on the very landscape. These newly revealed settlements, though often completely hidden from ground view by the relentless march of jungle growth, show clear signs of deliberate, intelligent design. You don't just stumble upon monumental architecture or defensive structures. What LiDAR unveiled was a meticulously planned landscape. We're talking about large plazas where thousands could gather, elevated platforms that likely served as foundations for important buildings or temples, and massive earthworks that acted as both defensive fortifications and possibly ceremonial sites. Imagine seeing the distinct outlines of walls and moats, some stretching for miles, designed to protect entire communities. These weren't simple dirt mounds. They show an understanding of engineering and a capacity for large-scale labor that would rival many ancient civilizations we already know about. The layout of these settlements wasn't haphazard. It followed clear patterns, suggesting a shared culture, common beliefs, and a centralized system that could direct such massive building projects. It was a planned world shaped by human hands, not just nature. But the brilliance of this lost civilization went far beyond just urban planning. How could millions of people be fed in a rainforest? They didn't just survive, they thrived thanks to incredibly advanced agricultural techniques and a profound understanding of their environment. They weren't just clearing land and hoping for the best, they engineered it. We're finding evidence of extensive raised fields, which are essentially elevated planting beds that allowed them to control water levels, preventing floods during heavy rains and retaining moisture during dry spells. This was smart, sustainable farming in an environment that most would consider hostile. They also actively managed the forests around them, cultivating specific trees and plants for food, medicine, and building materials. This wasn't random foraging. It was sophisticated agroforestry, creating a sort of garden forest that provided sustenance for generations without depleting resources. They understood the delicate balance of their ecosystem in a way we are only just beginning to appreciate today. They even developed a unique fertile soil called Terra Preta, or dark earth, by adding charcoal, compost, and other organic matter to the naturally poor Amazonian soil. This isn't just basic farming. This is sophisticated soil science, creating incredibly rich, self-regenerating soil that can remain fertile for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Consider this for a moment. While civilizations elsewhere were draining their land and exhausting their soil, these people were creating fertile ground, improving it, and ensuring a lasting food supply for their massive population. Their approach to agriculture wasn't just productive, it was ecologically sustainable, a model for how humans can live in harmony with a powerful environment. This was the key to supporting populations that grew to sizes comparable to, or even larger than, some of Europe's contemporary urban centers. Now, if you have hundreds of settlements sprawling across an area the size of a small country and millions of people, how do you manage all of that? How do you trade, communicate, and ensure that everyone gets what they need? How do you ensure everyone gets what they need? The answer lies in their incredible infrastructure. LiDAR has unveiled an intricate network of perfectly straight roads, some extending for dozens of miles, cutting through the dense jungle. These weren't just trails, they were engineered pathways, complete with drainage systems allowing for efficient movement of people and goods, even during the rainy season. And alongside these roads, or sometimes in place of them, were extensive canals used for transportation and also for managing water resources. But it gets even more impressive. They built massive earthworks, including monumental causeways that connected elevated settlements across floodplains and enormous plazas that served as central gathering places. Imagine the sheer manpower, the coordination, the leadership required to pull off such colossal projects without modern tools. This wasn't just a communal effort. It screams of a highly organized workforce, perhaps even a system of specialized labor. Someone had to design these roads. Someone had to manage the labor. Someone had to ensure resources were available. This level of societal organization points directly to a strong, centralized authority, perhaps a powerful ruling class, a priestly elite, or a complex system of chiefs that could direct and coordinate millions of people across vast distances. The scale of these earthworks and the interconnectedness of their settlements suggests a complex social stratification with different groups performing different roles, all contributing to the upkeep and expansion of this massive society. This was an empire, just not one built of stone and written records in the way we usually imagine. The revelation of this lost Amazonian civilization isn't just a cool discovery, it's a bombshell that revolutionizes our entire understanding of world history. For far too long, the story of human civilization has been told with a heavy Eurocentric bias, focusing almost exclusively on societies that emerged in Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. We've been taught that complex societies only arise in specific conditions, typically in temperate climates or fertile river valleys like the Nile or Mesopotamia. This Amazonian discovery shatters that narrative completely. It proves that incredibly sophisticated, highly organized societies could and did flourish in environments previously thought to be too challenging, too primitive for such development. It forces us to reconsider fundamental assumptions about human ingenuity and adaptation. These people weren't just surviving, they were mastering their environment, creating a sustainable mega-society that endured for centuries, perhaps even millennia. Their cities didn't crumble because of poor planning or lack of resources. It's likely that disease brought by European contact wiped them out, leaving their carefully constructed world to be slowly reabsorbed by the jungle. This tragic end reminds us of the fragility of even the greatest civilizations in the face of unforeseen threats. This discovery highlights the incredible ingenuity and resilience of indigenous Amazonian people, showcasing a rich, complex history that has been overlooked and undervalued. It's a powerful reminder that our planet holds countless untold stories waiting to be unearthed. As technology advances, we're likely to uncover even more secrets about this civilization, piecing together their beliefs, their art, and the daily lives of the millions who called this forgotten empire home. The more we learn, the more we challenge our own perceptions and expand our understanding of what humanity is truly capable of. Want to discover more incredible lost worlds? Click here to watch our next video.